And so that's easy. That's low hanging fruit, right? Okay, you don't want to go into a nursing home, so let's take a look at your health right now, and do you know who the Gottmans are?
Oh yeah.
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 So I love Gottman marriage counseling because they looked at patients, and they didn't look at couples who were dysfunctional. They looked at couples whose marriages were doing well and said, what are those couples doing? What are the characteristics of high performing marriages? And so that's the approach I take when helping people set their health goals. What are the characteristics of high performing patients who age well? Okay, there are a few of them. There's some real, and I will tell you the most, what I find to be the most compelling medical research coming out these days has absolutely nothing to do with new drugs or new surgeries, and it has everything to do with diet and exercise and the influence on health. And we're seeing those studies more and more. So there have been some really interesting ones come out that if you can run a fast mile as you age, and by fast, I mean like less than 9 minutes, that you are extremely unlikely to ever go into a nursing home. For men, if you can hold your body weight in your hands for a minute. For women, if you can hold 75% of your body weight in your hands for a minute, you're extremely unlikely to need a nursing home. So grip strength correlates strongly with ability to care for yourself independently. There's some new literature that links the size of your thighs with your cardiovascular disease risk. So small thighs, the implication being that low muscle mass correlates highly with cardiovascular disease. There have been several studies who are taking patients with active dementia and putting them in the gym and seeing their dementia, symptoms decline, get
Wow.
better.
Wow.
And so that's kind of what we do. I start by framing it out. Where do you want to be? I'm on Hilton Head, so we've got an aging retired population by and large. And so this is at the forefront of their minds. We live in paradise. We want to boat and golf and play tennis this weekend. That's what they want to do. And so what do you want the last phase of your life to look like? They tell me that. I said, okay, that's where you want to go. This is where you are right now. Okay. These are your health problems. And these are the things that we need to do to get you to this point that you want to be at, period. And it is always going to be about diet and exercise, because if you don't have the strength to get yourself up off the floor when you fall, like, you're going to be in a nursing home. And so I get them to kind of see that, oh, okay, so this is the kind of shape I have to be in, right? Yeah, you need to be able to shop for yourself. You need to be able to take a gallon of milk inside, all those things. And so then I say, okay, well, so you need to be doing cardio 1 to 2 days a week. You need to be doing weight training 2 to 3 days a week, and maybe some mobility stuff 1 day a week. So like where would you like to be to do that? And I've got a network of gyms and trainers in the area that I refer patients to, because I think I told you I'd prefer that everybody go to CrossFit, but that's not everybody's bread and butter. And if I just try to jam everybody into CrossFit, I'm not going to be super successful at coaching them there, right? But I do have some patients that I've sent to CrossFit, and they are flourishing because of it. I have some patients who, that kind of scares them. They don't want to do that. So I send them down to a group of trainers down at Island Rec here on the island. And sometimes even that's a bridge too far. And then I'll refer them to personal in-house physical trainers. But like we have to do something in a way that they find approachable and sustainable.